Okay, we're going to start troubleshooting the AWS SMS Connector. It's the SMS VM that you deploy for the service. First thing we're going to do is we're going to log in as EC2-user. The password is a default one of EC2pass. And once we're logged in, you actually get access to be able to sudo in the Linux FreeBSD machine that's running. However, you can't SSH to this machine. It's not installed. So you're pretty stuck as far as what you can do with this machine other than what comes out of the box. First thing you want to do is SUDO Setup.rb, Ruby, and it brings you up, well, you get the same password, so EC2pass, and it brings you up the menu to select what options you have. So you can either reset the password for this particular part of the environment, not the WebUI, that's separate. You can reconfigure the network, you can restart services, factory reset. And things of note here that are things that you want to use is option number 6, just in case you have issues with your SSL certificate. That's a certificate in use for connecting to vCenter in regards to it being expired or not being keyed correctly to the right name, stuff like that. That's also the option that you have when you tick the box in the WebUI when you're connecting to vCenter. Now, the other option here is 8, generate a log bundle. Now, if you are stuck in a condition whereby you can't complete the WebUI setup, you won't be able to continue. And if you need a raise support case with AWS, well, you need to get this log bundle. And the only way to do it is through this CLI. So we're going to generate the log bundle, and it's going to put it in a temp directory that it will create. So we're just waiting for it. It takes about 45 seconds to a minute or so. It's actually just gathering all the data from what you've done, how it's currently set up, and all that kind of jazz, and putting it in a tar file. So I'm going to pause the video until that's completed. Actually, just completed then. Alright, sweet. As you can see, you get generated log bundle at temp connector, same name, same location for every time you do this. It'll just overwrite from the last one. Alright, once you've done that, you'll need to exit this CLI. Now, as I mentioned before, you can't SSH to it, which means you can't use something like WinSCP to get to the file system. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to get to this location and then change directories to the temp directory. So let's go cd into tmp and let's list what's in there. And as you can see, there's our connector debug.tar file there. What we can do is that this machine's locked from being accessible from the outside in, but this machine can communicate from the inside out. So it can't connect to Windows shares, unfortunately, but what you can do is you can SCP via the CLI to another Linux machine. And I'd suggest getting something like FreeBSD or another like I don't know, Ubuntu or something like that. And with that machine, you can SCP from here to the one that you have full admin access and root access to. And then you can get your tar file from there. So we're going to put in the command to go from here to a FreeBSD box. Let me just show you the FreeBSD box. Okay, so this is the FreeBSD server. It's just the desktop version of it. I've installed a GUI on it, GNOME on here, and made the user member of sudo and all kinds of jazz like that, just to make it a normal desktop so it's usable kind of thing. Here's a desktop folder for our account that we're going to be using, and by default this does have SSH available to it, stuff like that. So what I'm going to be doing now, let me just close out of this here. What I'm going to be doing now is showing the commands from the SMS server that we entered to talk to this machine. Alright, so here we are, and we can see that we're CD'd already to temp. That's showing us what's in there. And this is the command that we want to enter, which is SCP, and then the name of the debug file that we've output, which is that one right there. And then / the user account that you're logged in that has some kind of privileged access. Then the IP address of the machine that's running the OS, which in this case is the one in the background. And here we specify by the colon what directory we want to put it in, which is the desktop folder, which is what we see here. So what I'll do is I'll press enter, and then that should copy the file over. That took too long to actually enter the command. That's what happened. So let me just do that again. Let me just pause the video. Okay, so what actually had happened was I had lost my connection to the SMS connector. I had to log off and log back in again with the EC2 user and pass. I've entered the command again, so that's going to this machine here. As before, you get this authenticity for the certificate. You just got to type in yes to confirm that you want to do it. And now it's asking for the password for that account on the server that's running there in the background. Copy the file, and there it is. And once you've done that, you can do whatever you want in regards to either uploading it directly via browser or connect to a Windows network and copy it over there through Samba, and then away you go. And that should be all there is to it, and then export the file out.